the waxing of number 12. What you want to do first is kind of lube up the contact area, lube up the opposing, and kind of lube up the actual die. First thing you do is I'm using the margin as a guide to where my wax stops. This is the tip that is a bigger tip, so I'm grabbing a lot of wax. It's a little bit at a higher temperature, but I'm grabbing a lot of wax. I'm just kind of building wax. Just remember always to control the wax. If it's too hot and you like it at a certain spot, you gotta do is blow on it to make it stay in that spot. After I kind of cover the whole thing, I'll make a thicker part of a wax by the margin area so it doesn't pull. It's still gonna pull, but it's okay. Just kind of informs the wax that it's too full, too thick, I won't do it. Put the crown back in there. Now my whole goal is to what I do is first is kind of fill in the contact area, so I kind of connect what I have here in wax using both sides of the contact. I'll do the distal. It's up to you if you want to do the mesial or the distal first, but I prefer to do the distal first. I'm moving on to the mesial. I'm using number 13 as a guide, so it kind of guides where I want to be contour wise, contact wise. Always remember that the contact that you're going to have between number 12 and 11 is not going to be as wide and big as you're going to have between 12 and 13. As a matter of fact, it's a point contact, so as long as you're contacting, that's all that matters. Filled it up a little bit. Now I'm kind of this way, kind of angling the crown. See what my contour is going to be. Because I use lube in here, what I can do is kind of add wax, and it's going to dictate to where the occlusion is. Just kind of filling in right in the contact area here. Remember, you want to open embrasures, but at the same time fill it where it needs to be full. So you're looking for the kind of a V shape crown, just like how this side is. The buckle is almost there. Let's move on to the lingual. Again, this is the height of the contour right here on the lingual. Kind of looking at it this way. You want to match what you have here for a cusp. If it breaks, you can just always put it back together. It's wax. It's the best part about it. Close it back up. Make sure the occlusion is right. I'm not too high in occlusion. Kind of forming the occlusal table. Crown is almost there shape-wise, if you can see it. Now, it's a little bit wider, but we're going to control all that in a second. That's when we'll use the instruments. I move on to the smaller tip because I'm able to control better. Now, oops, it's a little bit at a high temperature. Let's control this, make it a little bit lower. Check it back with occlusion. Still got room, it's not touching. I can add to the tip of this. So this part right here. We're doing another try. Want to take a little break? Okay, it's good. Okay. All right, our overall shape is there. What I do like to do now is take it off. Just remember how we looped it up so we're able to move. And I fill in the spots now. I use bigger tip. Staying away from the contact area and going around it, filling around it. If you look at it this way, you kind of dictate where the contour of the crown is. Use the margin, look at it from the side view. Staying away from the contact, just waxing right in here. In here. Put it back. So everything should be back. Should look a little bit more like a crown. I'm looking at this, I'm a little bit over contour, but it's okay because I can use my instrument to get it to where I want to be. I like to over contour stuff a little bit. Okay, now let me get my instrument. All right, now that I got my instrument in here, I'm trying to get the embrasures open here, staying away from the from this part here again, opening the embrasure, make it look more natural. I'm kind of just blending everything together. You want to make sure your margin ridges are the same. Margin ridge is the same. Again here, kind of opening the embrasures, using this part of the sharp part of the instrument to get in there. I'll do the same thing to this side. I'm looking at it this way. I feel like I'm a little over contour, so I need to clean it up this way. A little bit this way. See the central fossa? That's what I'm looking for. Start by having, these are the two deepest points in your central fossa. So I start with one here, I start with one here. I think I need my brush. Brush here. Tooth is already starting to take a shape. Before I go on, I'm just seeing something that's bugging me right here. Add a little bit more to this, a little bit more to that. In here too, something is bugging me. I feel like I need to add more wax right in here. Feel free to, you know, pick up and make sure you fill in this area so you have nice, good contact. Same with here. Looking at all angles of the tooth to make sure it looks natural. The other side. Now I'm using the sharp part of the instrument to kind of dictate where my central fossa is. Remember, this is the deepest part. And my instrument's right there. Clean it up. I like to use something with a sharp, or like a shovel kind of a tip. I'm just gonna have to kind of make it like a rope around this tooth. See how there's a rope kind of here? Do the same thing here. So looking at this, my tooth is already starting to take shape. I'm almost there actually. Now, remember what we said. Let's look for the smaller tip. Just kind of shape this thing up a little bit. This way. And that way. And this way. That way. Just kind of refining my animate a little bit. Just a little bit better. Technical, you can make this, you can just kind of sharp the cusp right here, Grab the cusp right here. Make the ridges, kind of opening everything together. Finally, I use this. Enemy's just cracks, so I have a crack going this way. Crack going this way. Crack going this way. If you want to look more natural, you can open this up a little bit. You have a crack going this way. Overall, the whole shape of the tooth is almost there. Contacting here, contacting there. Trick is used a paper towel sometimes. Gives it a nice shine. If you really want to impress somebody too, you can use a sharp, really sharp tip like a knife and kind of just prime your anatomy. Last thing I do is kind of just smooth out this area right here. I add wax and I just kind of remove it afterwards. Same thing to the side. Because the wax is still hot, just kind of dictate where your contacts are going to be. Real smooth. Let the instrument do the work. I don't put too much pressure. Voila. I mean, I'm almost there. Real fast wax up of how I would do a bicuspid. Get a little bit light.